In this movie, I'm going to show you how to change the memory in your MacBook. It's pretty easy, doesn't require a lot of tools, and it will greatly improve the performance of your MacBook when you're done. In this picture, you can see the things required to change out your memory. Obviously, you need your MacBook and the memory, and a couple optional things are some compressed air in a can to help blow out dust, and a rag to wipe out any dust that you might come across along the way. Here you can see the memory that I'm going to be installing into this MacBook. You want to make sure that the memory that you buy is the proper memory for your MacBook. There are lots of different types of memory out there, but as long as you know the model of your MacBook, it should be easy to find the right memory for it. This is a set of precision tools that I bought for pretty cheap from Amazon. Macs often have a lot of different types of screws that aren't Phillips or flathead inside. You won't need any special ones to just swap out the memory, but for most of the other stuff that you'll have to do inside of a Mac, you will need some of the different types of heads. This is a can of compressed air that you might want to have handy. It's not required to do this, but it's always good if you're going inside the computer to have the compressed air nearby so you can blow out any of the dust that's accumulated over time. First step is simple. Turn the MacBook over. You will see 8 screws across the bottom. You also might notice that underneath the MacBook I have sort of a nice rubber top to the table. I like to have that there because that way it won't scratch the top of the MacBook. This one's kind of old, so it might not matter that much, but it's nice to have a nice soft surface so you don't scratch it up any more than it already is. Next step is to remove the 8 screws from the back of the computer. If you do have a precision tool set, you may find that there are a couple different sizes of Phillips head screwdrivers, um, or possibly it's a different type of screw head. Make sure you have the right screw head for it so that way you don't strip any of the screws and it's really easy to unscrew them to get them out. This picture is just showing you a little bit about how I put the screws down once I take them out. I like to kind of put them into the same position that they were when I took them out. All the screws basically are the same, but sometimes they fit slightly better back where they came from. So you can see that I put them sort of in the same order, in the same position that they were as they came out of the back of the computer. Once all the screws are out, you should be able to pop the back of the MacBook off. Just whenever pulling a side of a computer off, always make sure there's nothing attached to it. With your MacBook, there shouldn't be anything sort of stuck to it, but always be careful when you're pulling anything out or off of a computer that there's not wires or other things attached to them. Once you've got the back off, you should see something that looks like this. In the upper left hand corner, you will see your optical drive. In the bottom, the big black area would be your battery. The bottom right would be your hard drive, and just above the hard drive, the blue little pieces there are the memory that we're going to pop out. If you get in real close and look at the memory, you can see on either side of it there are sort of little plastic clamps. What you're going to do is you're just going to sort of press out on those clamps and the memory should pop up so then you can get a hold of it. Once you've gotten a hold of it, you should just be able to pull it out. Once you pull it out, you should take a look at it. You can kind of see that there's this slot somewhere in the middle of it. Different types of memory have this slot located in different places. If you get the wrong memory, the slot might be moved a little bit left or right and it won't fit properly into the MacBook. So that's one reason why getting the proper memory is very important. This is what it looks like when the memory has been taken out. You may have had one piece of memory in there, you may have had 2. Hopefully you checked beforehand exactly how much memory you had in it so that way you knew what you were putting in was going to be more, so that way it would improve the performance of the computer. So now we're going to go ahead and get the new parts and put them in. Putting the new memory in is pretty simple. The only thing you got to really pay attention to is making sure that slot that was in the memory is lined up with the same spot where it goes into the computer itself. If you've got it flipped upside down, then you won't be able to put it in properly. At this point is when I usually take the opportunity to try and get any of the extra dust that's inside the computer out. Dust can clog vents and keep fans from getting the hot air out of there, and when computers overheat, they don't work as well. Once you've gotten all the dust out, go ahead and place the back of the MacBook back where it was and put all 8 screws back in. Once you have all the screws back in, go ahead and turn your MacBook back over and turn it on. Hopefully you won't get any error messages and everything will run smoothly and much more quickly than it used to. Thanks for watching.